What's up? I'm Joey. Welcome to my channel. And in today's video, we're going to learn how to make a fiberglass speaker box. I provided the link to all the items you need in the description below, so don't forget to check it out below. Okay, let's get started. Alright, now let's start with the plan. Everyone better have one. So here we have a subwoofer box and a box on top I plan to use for my mids and my highs. So this is the layout I wanted, mids and then tweeters in the middle. Then I'll have my amp sitting on top. I'll be using my car audio items. I will be using them for home use in the meantime. And my speakers. Here we are. Alright, so step 1 is to cut the mounting holes for your speakers. You'll need your wood, drill, router, circle guide, and router bits. So here I marked my scrap wood. This is 1/4 inch plywood for the tweeters. So I'm drilling the holes for the circle template. This is my Bosch router and my circle template guide. This way you can cut perfect circles whenever you want with your router. Such a handy tool. So it looks like this out of the box, and it's perfectly made for the router. Next, when you cut your perfect circles, when your circles are done, I use another router bit for a curved edge. This way, when you wrap your frame with the cloth, it has more surface area and it's curved for the fiberglass. So when it attaches itself to the wood, it has more grip. So this is our final plan. These are circles and my tweeter frame. Alright, next is step 2, to secure the speaker frames. For this, you need glue gun and glue sticks. So just get some scrap pieces of wood and mount your speakers the way you want them to. So here is our final layout. Here, we have them mounted already. Alright, next, step 3. We put cloth over the frame. For this, you need cloth and a staple gun. So I have my handy staple gun, and we want the cloth to be secure over the frame. Make sure there is no wrinkles in the structure, so you'll have a clean and professional looking finished product. Next, we apply our polyester resin. But first, let's prepare our chop mat. It comes in this package, so I'd like to cut it down into more manageable pieces. So we cut it into maybe around 2 inches by 2 inches squares. Next is our resin. We have R10 103 pink polyester resin. So I'd like to mix it in these handy used cup noodles containers because they're sturdy. Do not use plastic cups as they will melt, as the resin will melt right through it. Use these old cup noodles as a mixing area. Add a few drops of your catalyst, 2:100 ratio. A couple of drops will do fine for this container. Next, we mix it. We mix and mix and mix. Mix until it changes color into a dark orange. So from pink, it turns to dark orange. Next, we apply it to the cloth. Apply the resin on the cloth. So, I already did this beforehand. As you can see, it's wet. But we'll apply the resin to the cloth in the picture. So once it is dry, after 3 to 4 hours, we can then apply our chop mat. Make sure your chop mat is soaked in resin. Make sure there are no air bubbles. So using your brush, just use a jabbing motion until the resin is no longer as the chop mat is no longer white, and you can see it's completely soaked in resin. So do this in the whole structure. Make about two to three layers. It's all up to you. The sturdier, the better. So I want the structure to be really sturdy, just in case I play loud music. So I want it to be 3 layers of chop mat and resin. Okay, now once it's dry, I want to trim the edges. I should have done this earlier when the cloth was when I pulled the cloth, but next time I will do it earlier. So trim the edges using your Dremel tool or rotary tool, whatever you have. Just use a cutting bit. Here I'm cutting off the excess portions of the structure of the cloth. It would have been easier with a blade. So here it is, the finished product after not finished yet, but the trimmed product after the resin, after 3 layers of resin and chop mat. Next, we cut out our speaker rings after we trim the edges. As you can see, looking very not too clean. It's okay. Not bad for your first time. So after 3 layers, this is what it looks like. Our structure is starting to take shape. Next, we apply our body filler. So we need body filler. I use Glasserit. This is the brand I use. So the ratio is 2:100, similar to the resin. So I just put a few drops. Make sure to mix only a small portion at a time, as the body filler dries really quickly. So make sure it's thoroughly mixed, otherwise it won't harden. So you keep mixing it until it is uniform. So it should turn a light pink, more or less. So here is the area we're applying our body filler. So you can see all the curves are starting to take shape, and it's starting to come together little by little. So apply it evenly. Make sure there are no high spots and low spots. So here we are applying our body filler, and it should come out looking more or less like this. Alright, next is step 6, sanding. This is the most time consuming part of the process. You need your drill and your sanding attachments.
So we have
You can use ordinary sandpaper, that works fine too, but that will take even longer. So to speed things up, I get my handy cordless drill and my sanding attachments. So I have a 2-inch sanding attachment, and I attach my 80 grit sandpaper. This will help get rid of those bumps and high spots easily. So here we are, sanding. Notice how fast it is using power tools. So the surface is looking pretty rough. Looks like the moon. But we're gonna get that all smoothened out with the help of our power tools, our sander. Okay, here we are, still sanding and still sanding. This requires a lot of patience, and it can be quite therapeutic and relaxing at the same time. So here it is after the first sanding. As you can see, it's starting to get smooth, but still there are a lot of pinholes present and stuff I have to trim, especially in the middle. Body filler went into the circle, so I have to trim it. I'll be continuing the finishing of this of the speaker box on my next video, where I'll be deciding whether to finish it with either paint or vinyl.